Now, boys, don't get into any trouble while Mommy and Daddy are gone. And don't make a mess.
Do you like parties?
Yeah.
We can invite all our friends and have soda and pie.
Yeah.
I hope no bad people show up.
That's right, and it's Wednesday, and we're gonna get it going, Humpty Hump or whatever, regardless, we're gonna get it going. We're gonna kick it, and we're gonna get going on this Wednesday. Hell and hello to everyone. Yes, freshly out of the shower. Oh, Green Giant. I don't know why that came to mind, but who cares? It's Hump Day, and ooh, this little tight. Oh my. Oh well, it's Wednesday, middle of the week. Had the night off. I went to sleep. I said the heck with topic list, heck with Tokame's. Afterwards, I'm getting some rest so that I can get up and do it again. And be well rested. And pace myself a little bit better. So so I'm fresh. Da 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 da. Da-da-da-da-da. You got the thing. I'm on my third cup of coffee. That may be a good thing or a bad thing. I don't know. Hey, I don't know what you're looking for, but you found it on the 4 o'clock shadow and on this channel. Yeah, I mean, sometimes you just gotta decompress, right, and just bring it on down, and just get your center of gravity especially on a Wednesday. And some of us have to go right into the grind meal and the grind. I get it. You have to work. You have to, like Katie's doing, she has to get this painting done in her room, and get that all done. Once you get a project, from hell going on, then, hopefully she's had fun with her daughter doing that. But it's something you have to get done. Otherwise it just stays a mess, right? But I'm sure the results, the extra storage space and stuff will pay off in the end. You're doing a great job. Keep with it. Thank you for yesterday, Rex. It really helped me. Good, Katie. I'm glad. The scriptures say, be anxious for nothing. We should be anxious for nothing. We're in the palm of his hand. Regardless if we believe that hand is there or not, God is for us, not against us. It will eventually. Yes, indeed. It will pay off eventually. You keep chip away at the stone, and eventually Michelangelo, hey, uh, I'm bouncy, ouncy, fun. Wonderful things about Rex is I'm the only one. Hey, some of you will get it and some of you won't, and that's just fine. The universe is not looking for me anyway. At least I don't think they are. A few people are, but shh, keep that between you and me. Half of you out there wish you had the energy that I have at 58. I may not look like Graham Nolan, but I act it. Tigger Rex, yes. Without the tail. He was always my favorite. I've got to be, I liked Eeyore. I didn't like my Rabbit much. He was like, because he was a downer, but I liked them all, Um, but yeah, Tigger was my favorite. He was bouncing off the walls like I was. I wish I did today. Yeah, I'm trying to channel some of that energy toward you, Katie, towards everybody listening, which is not very many people, but it's early in the morning. At least here it is. We have 3 maybe on X. That's us, and we've got 2 on YouTube. And hell, am I one of them? Let me check. I don't think I am. No, I'm not. So we have a lurker. Well, lurkers are welcome here. Tigger and Pooh Bear for sure. Yeah, you got to love the main character. You probably don't like the whole thing. I don't know. I have a vintage. I mean, it's perfect shape. About 50-year-old Winnie the Pooh Pez. It's beautiful. I would say it's probably my most beautiful, brand new looking old vintage Pez I have. I actually bought it for someone, and then they left my life, and I didn't get a chance to give it to them. So, I'm stuck with a pristine mint. They really liked Winnie the Pooh. Hello, lurker. Yes, Katie says. Hopefully the painting's coming along soon. It looks like not a total disaster on the measuring. It looked pretty good, when you were showing it off. Yeah, I mean, it's only 6:37 here in the morning. The sun is just now coming up. Like I said, I've been up a little while, at least an hour or so, an hour and a half, somewhere in there, to be able to make my third cup of coffee with lime juice. Just get your vitamin C in there. I had walnuts for breakfast. Walnuts. I remember the one thing that struck me about that was, and there's a book that I'll let the cat out of the bag, because they've been in the bag too long. What is this? Meow. It's really bad, but I've got covered most of the mistakes. Yeah. Well, I mean, look, if it's yeah, you could not be any worse than the guy that put in cabinetry. Charles, if you're listening to this, I'm sorry, but he put in cabinetry to the kitchen, and it was like, wow, this guy. And his excuse was, hey, I get it done. Yeah, but it's all wonkers. The guy doesn't know anything about carpentry and should never pick up a hammer ever again. Poor kitty. Yeah. I was gonna let the cat out of the bag, wasn't I? What was I gonna poor kitty. Let's see, out of the bag. It'll come back to me. I guess the cat stays in the bag for now. Can you believe? Let's see. Let's key up my information here so that you can possibly know what I'm talking about. Can you believe I got 113 views a couple of days ago on a rerun? And the average watch time was like 9 minutes and something, almost 10 minutes. When you consider all the people that came in, that's phenomenal. That's really phenomenal that you keep the attention of the average person by 10 minutes. Not everyone, but the average viewing time of everyone was 10 something minutes, almost 10 minutes on a rerun. And that, broke the, to break 100 views is amazing, on a and I was shocked that it had 70 something views, about like 75 views over like 2.5 years, over like 2 years since that had been, about 2 years, I guess, since that had been aired. You are making me laugh today, Rex. Good. I'm, and release that good endorphin type thing today. I mean, we all need that, right? That's that's what I'm here for. Right? That's partly what I'm here for. Poor kitty. I know, at least I'm not saying I'm going to throw it out in the lake and drown it. What was I going to let out of the bag? There was something. It'll come back to me. There's hose in the bag. The cat can still breathe. Oh, off topic. Sorry. I just remembered I released my favorite video of mine, the singing one. Oh, cool. Yeah, I had to check that out again. It's a brand new world. I don't know. I don't know what it was, but it was wonderful. I could I could listen to you sing. You need to release the soundtrack. She's like, hell no. Oh man. Yeah, I didn't do any drawing. Sometime, last night on Topic List didn't go on Tokumaze. I just decided to crash and burn, if you will, in bed. And a few things came to me and I wrote them down. I'm still working on it, a couple premises of things and things that I want to make sure that I put into the Devil Flyer magazine, like a dedication to my family, all my family members that believed in me. And I am very hell no. Okay. I knew she would say that. You don't have to be an empath to know that. Hell no. I'm great in the mornings. I won't even go there. I'm great in the mornings. Although I would like to sleep till, doesn't that look good back there? You can tell what that is. Kind of sort of the Captain Marvel Jr. that I picked up in near mint or to near mint condition. I don't know. But man, that to get that black cover like that without the rubbing in that shape for that price, that thing should have went for near $100, I think, but fortunately for me, it didn't. Actually, that was a pretty good buy, for my collection. That one is, get you a lesser copy. And I think a much lesser copy. I think Tokumaze might have looked that up. Somebody looked that up and it was like, they have one on there for like $40. And that was the only other one on there. So I really wouldn't want to buy one of these at that price. I might want to watch it and have them make me an offer, but they're probably not going to want to come off that offer that much. But that was a steal to find that and actually win that. I think I was the only bid, and I could have got outbid very easily. And usually on some good deals like that, I am. But fortunately, I didn't. And that one there needs to be graded. It just does because of condition. I know Shadowhawk's like, oh, it's meant to be read. I'll get another reader copy, but I want to preserve it in this shape, I want to encapsulate it, now what the next person does, as an investment, I probably won't do that anytime soon, but I might consider that book there, which would kind of be one of my first, black covers to do. I've never sent off anything to be slab, but I'm going to this year. My first appearance of Harley Quinn and a few others that might be a double, sort of error books, double covers, things like that. I'm just kind of curious about what the Harley Quinn would come back, and I do have plans to sell it. I hate to sell it because it's the rare one, the newsstand one, and there's not that many of them out there. But what are you dropping there, Katie? What is that? Do I have to click on it to find it out? Whose YouTube channel that is. Been thinking, like Texas Dave asked me, how when's Devil Flyer releasing? TK's link. Okay. Yeah. Tokumaze's link. Yeah. Yeah. Generally when we do the show, we don't have anyone show up, in the chat. We just don't. I really haven't looked and seen how many, views he gets, but we have fun over there. And he does that particular show every other week. So you'll have to wait a couple more weeks to see, and I can't remember, it's called Hillbilly something. But yeah, I opted out of both Topic List and that last night to get some rest. And I've actually enjoyed last night off. Due to the rain, I guess the hurricane blowing in some, coming through Texas, and devastating. I think the death count in Texas was like up to 6. Last time I heard, might have had some more, but it drove some rain. At least I'm thinking that's what drove the rain up here. And and now we're back to hot weather today and tomorrow, and I guess the subsequent days to leading up. So fun times over, back to work, which is good. I want to work every day while the days are here, because it's seasonal. And once the season's over, it just dwindles, and you're like, but seriously, in a few months, I'll be out of a job again. It really sucks. So I'll take this little bit and I'll roll it into, getting the book done and getting it printed up and getting it out to everybody, along with the cards, standees, and everything else, tapestries, and then maybe a few books to get graded, and then those can come in and I can sell those. Those need to be key issues that will sell for a pretty good bit, and you don't know when they're going to sell, right? You just don't. And I certainly don't want to give my only issue of, even though I don't really have anything in it, I picked up anyway. Let's get back to fun time. Somebody pushed my fun button. Yeah, I've got to be, since Apex has thrown down the gauntlet with the I think it's October, FemBat, right before Halloween launching. I'll have to think, and I've already read FemBat. If you like battles and fighting and stuff like that in a comic, there's plenty of that in the 56 or 58, whatever it is, I don't know, pages of FemBat. There's a lot of fighting that goes on with the characters. Spoilers, he made me a copy, a little ash can looking copy, which I have read shortly after I got it, a couple weeks after I got it. So I have the only FemBat, I'm the only other person that's read this. And the reason he made this up for me, and actually was a birthday present with the wraparound cover, by the way, was so that we could have FemBat, Devil Flyer versus FemBat, story. And I'll have to talk with him on some of that. I even considered, putting a cameo of FemBat in my book, in my magazine book. So I'll have to ask him about that. I have not asked him about that yet. If that's an option, it would be different. It would be good exposure for him, I think, for his character. And, gin up some interest for FemBat. I'll be pricing some things today that I have recently gotten, and doing some organizing, I think. And probably mailing a couple of things. There's still one eBay order that I have to fill, which is this gentleman about religiously every month buys something for me on eBay, which is great because that helps pay my fee that but his stuff he's actually buying for a comic book museum out in California, which is pretty cool. That this stuff is going to wind up in a comic book museum. So he's bought a couple more pieces from me, and I have to get that together and send that off to him. It'll be a couple weeks before I mail out some stuff to some people, but I will be getting some stuff mailed up. I am working with the graphic designer on getting stuff scanned right now. Trying to think where she's at with that. Pretty soon we're going to be printing out some of the cards and stuff from the campaign. Probably do the special cards first that a few of you will be receiving, and then also then from then the Devil Flyer fan club card. And I'm trying to think, what the best way to do that. Do I go ahead and mail that out? I would like some kind of tchotchke with it, like maybe I'll get 6 a.m. to do another sticker. In a couple weeks, I'll know. I'll probably commission him to do another sticker, and I may just send that out with the card. I want to send something out with the Devil Flyer fan club card, and I might just wait and send it with everyone's order. I don't know. We'll see what we can do. Definitely didn't want to send the card by itself. I wanted to send something special and kick it off. I think everybody would appreciate it, a 6 a.m. sticker. I haven't talked to him. Can I make that into a magnet instead? Or, I did ask him, can I put this on a t-shirt? And never heard back from him. I think he's like, yeah, I'll just do my stuff in stickers, but I've not talked to him. And if he wants extra money, I'll give him extra money for the design. I don't know. I think it would be cool to have a 6 a.m. Devil Flyer t-shirt. Katie's going to be working with me on that, I think, on in a couple weeks on Shopify, to get that looking very nicely. It's nice that it can. And then we can get out some, start making some merch. I'm excited to make some puzzles. I know puzzles probably aren't people's thing. You am indeed. I am indeed. You am indeed. Does that not say you? You am indeed. Okay. But yeah, I want to make some of those puzzles for my mother for sure. And myself. I would love to fill this back with, instead of collectibles, just all momentum stuff. Absolutely. To show people what we've made. Oops, I am. Yeah. I am what I am. I'm Katie, the sailor woman. I don't know. She lives on an island, by the way. Howbeit a big island. It's an island. And another thing that I want to get made, of course, are the sketch cards. I did give her a design on that. I haven't asked her. She did scan the books like I wanted. I did have to call and say, did you unwrap these? Because they don't look like they've been unwrapped. Did you scan them through the plastic? I thought, surely not. And I've told her before, take the stuff out of the plastic. Don't try and scan it through the plastic. You're going to get glare and stuff, and that's not what I want. But with other things. But yeah. And this is stuff that I'm having her do for the magazine. The magazine's being worked on. I've never really set a time. It gets done when it gets done, and it'll get done in a timely manner. And I'm shooting for somewhere under a year, kind of like my ash can, and quicker. I would have liked to have had it done 3 months. That was ambitious, as in demand for 3 months. That was ambitious. Let's see. We did February, March. See, we got an early launch in February. I'd look at it as fairly early. But it works out good because March, then you have Momentum March, you have Momentum May when it's in demand. I kind of like that. One other thing are the sketch cards to get, and I gave her, showed her this from Alterna Comics, one of their sketch cards, or older sketch cards that they've, just to kind of give her an idea and to design me a sketch card. So that I'll get some of those printed up and do some artwork, and then maybe offer some stuff like that on the campaign. Maybe later on the campaign. I don't know. We'll see. once I hopefully all this will come about around the same time, have some new art from artists that'll be in the book that I can show you, new stuff by me put up on the campaign, plus John Philandes cover offered for sale, and Jimmy Reyes cover drop on the campaign, what it will the final look like that in color, hopefully. That's another thing I have to think about. Okay, and I have no idea how much it's going to cost me for this professional colorist to color the wraparound cover. So I'm going to make myself a note right now. But I'm sure we'll get it done. Like I said, I had not even thought about getting the cover colored. I don't know why. I just hadn't thought that far ahead. It was just like, can't wait to see what Jimmy comes up with, but that him volunteering his colorist to color it, solves a problem for me. Something I don't have to really think about. Trying there's a lot of spoilers I don't want to spoil for you about the book. So hey Gable. But I did break down. I can't keep a secret, and show my new character Despair, which will have a cameo in the book, because he will play what role he will play in the future. I don't know. I just like his look, and I'm slowly building, what I want to do. If you were like, sit down and tell me the whole story, I could tell you a lot of it. I can't tell you all of it in detail because it's not written yet. It's not thought up yet. That's the way that I work. It's over time, and it's, but it'll be the best that I can give you. This I can give you a look at something I did and found recently, again around here. It didn't go far. Did I even have this dated? I don't. Oh yeah, I did. Okay, so I did this back in 2001. October 13th, 2001. The first page. Now these two bottom pages need to be moved over to the right a little bit. This is just like my little thumbnail that I did on, like, no, I don't know what you'd measure this card. It's bigger than 3x6, but it's the first page of the Inner Man story that Dillard will be doing, and he's had the others laid out probably since 2022. But like I say, these two panels would be moved over here. I think I kind of moved them like this for dialogue reason, because there will be dialogue in there. But there's Inner Man, basically the first layout for the Inner Man story, and that was done back in 2001. Dillard will be doing that 2-page story, and then Inner Man will be one of those. He will be the next big featured character in the Devil Flyer Zero. I like that I've kind of, by backing up things and doing the magazine prequel, and then doing a Zero issue, and then who knows from there. When I'm ready to launch a #1 issue, you'll know it. But by backing up stuff, I'm actually getting some of this, and it's freeing me up to get some of these. It's actually accelerating the development of things more than what I thought that would happen. That's a good thing. I had a blockage, and it was the Devil Flyer story. It was 28 pages. It was eating up too much for, a lot of people don't like, say, and what's the word? where you have many stories. Allegory. That's not it. Anthology. Thank you, Rex. An anthology. Not everybody likes an anthology because they don't have enough room for development sometimes if you have a lot of characters. I think I have the right amount, but by doing the prequel and getting the 28 pages out, I'll have more room in all my issues from now on. You know, it really frees me up to do what I want to do, and I can make, you know, if I want. I had to stop writing the script for Inner Man because had I for once on that Inner Man story, I was just sitting and writing, you know, with the images in my head. Usually I thumbnail out the stuff like this, and I have a visual. I did not take the time to do that because I was in writing mode, you know. And I said, I don't know how this is pacing out. It's getting to be a long story, so I had to stop. I said, but I've got enough on the page here to know what direction I'm going, and I can pick it up later. So a couple years later, I'll pick up that story and go, okay, this needs to be completed, and I'll write it. But for, you know, the very first impetus of it, which has been a while now, I've got quite a bit written, and he'll be the next big featured character in this prequel. It will be Bystander, and to me that makes sense because he's my first big cosmic character. He's in that story, and he's in the Bog story, in the Gravetail story. So he's making multiple appearances, which is cool. And I've got 3 stories for Dirty Joe told, but I have to get that first one that I did with hockey out of the way. So I'll probably be adding that. So that's 2 pages taken away out of the Bystander story, but I think I'll have more than enough room in 7 pages, I think it is, to develop the story I'm wanting to tell in that last story that I'm working on. Hopefully next time we'll see. We'll see. I'll definitely I'll be making paying Keith to for some of the lettering of the book. We'll be making progress here pretty soon. We're making progress now on exactly what I want in the book, but I'm giving it much thought every day, and I'm also doing different layout ideas, some creating new character, just letting the creativity flow. You know, I like to turn the artist loose that I commission, but I also give them a direction, you know, of how to, you know, what I'm kind of want, you know, and expect. Even with the Jimmy Reyes cover, you know, I had an idea of what I wanted, you know, and now that I know exactly what he's doing, I can go with my original idea because I wanted original idea was to have Devil Flyer on the cover spinning the trident like and reflecting bullets, which made sense because he was going up against monsters that fire bullets, right? He didn't want to do that. I like the thing that he's got on there, no problem. I knew he'd do something good with it. It's fine. But that just, you know, that kicks the other ideal down the road, you know. So I'll have somebody else do that, you know. Maybe I'd like to have, I used the cover, John Dillard's cover that he did for me that we designed together for Devil Flyer #1 for the prequel. So I may have to commission John to do me another cover. And maybe that'll be it with him, you know, spinning. I just think it's cool. You know, it's kind of like Thor, you know, whipping his hammer around. Can't wait, Rex. I know I think there's a lot of enthusiasm, a lot of, you know, and then also with the Gravetail story, don't know if it's going to work out yet, Gable or not, but I have her doing a visual thing with the backgrounds on that Gravetail story. I had an epiphany of how to get into the psyche of the clown and see the world as he sees it. So I'm having her do me a test page and she has not finished that yet. So when I see that, maybe that'll give me. I think I'm going to go with that ideal. I think it'll work, and it'll be different. I hope it doesn't ruin it for people. You know, but I'm into doing some stuff that is different. You know, like you've never seen before. And I hope you're not disappointed. I mean, I'll definitely have another cameo. I mean, Bog will definitely have a, pose or something going on, in the bystander story. But I believe Bog's only like on 3 or 4 pages. I think maybe the 3 last pages of the Grey Tail story. I mean, the story is more about the setup of the villain of the piece, and then he just kind of comes in and rectifies the situation, beats up on the clown or whatever, and delves out justice. But other than that, you don't get to see a lot of Bog. I'm sorry for that. He is. I'm chomping at the bit to get to Bog, and I can't even tell you when Bog will be featured next. I mean, he'll be in every issue. Don't get me wrong, but how much air time he will get, because the next one gets in, like I say, will be bystander this issue, then Inner Man, because Inner Man, it makes mention in the dialogue of Devil Flyer. Can that in this early stage be changed? Certainly, but I don't want to. It's perfect the way it is, he sees on the news where Devil Flyer interacted with Cy Marco and delved out justice to Cy Marco. And he's like, yeah, I'm going to have to look into that. So then on the 3rd issue, they were going to battle. It's like one of the old tropes, where the Hulk and Spider-Man meet and they battle, and then in swoops something out, which that's changed. That's changed. So would it be too daring to put another character in front and put the Devil Flyer in back of the issue? And, him not even be the main feature in an issue? He's in the book, but he's the backup. Or, I mean, it's the main story, but the main story come last. Is that too daring? I might do that. It just come to me. I could do that. I could put the Inner Man story, the setup, and then actually work him into the Devil Flyer story. Inner Man making an appearance not only in his, which that needs to come first. So I could put that at the first of the issue, the Devil Flyer at the end, and then have Inner Man in that story as well. And then, of course, there's other backup stories. But till we get to issue 1, there probably won't be the official startup, right? I mean, issue 1 will have 6 stories, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, till we get to the climax in 6. And believe me, 6 is not the climax. Really, 7 is the resolution of the thing, but it's also the origin of Devil Flyer. Yeah, I hope people, get a good vibe off this. There's so many characters that I want to work in, but I want to do it in an intelligent way. I don't want to just it seem forced. So often you'll do the story. There's not much to it. You're not invested in these characters. There's very little. They're doing comics, but they're not doing the Chris Claremont, John Byrne, Terry Austin thing at all, where you're actually invested in the characters. You care about the characters. You like to see them interact. You feel for them. And then when one of them dies, you're like, oh, you feel something. That's good characterization. And then in the back of the book, they have, this is I don't know, Lightning Man. Well, who cares? I just read the story and there was no characterization whatsoever. I don't care to know his power set and all that because I don't really care about the character. You've given me nothing to care about the character. It's like, oh, I got this one comic to tell all this stuff in. Well, then do it in an intelligent manner where people will go, that was a pretty good read. I would come back for another one if they did another one, and then they'll be invested in the characters. I want you to be invested in these characters from the get-go. Now, that's kind of hard to do on a first-time basis. I get it. So, hopefully the bystander story will kind of aid in that, to give you an overview of what's coming. The hook. I believe this story that I'm writing on now will be the hook. And it will also allow me to flex and show you what I can do. A little bit. That's French for a little. That's about all I learned in 2 weeks of French. So, yeah, there's exciting stuff coming down the pike, and people will just have to wait for it. But when it gets here, it's kind of like childbirth. You dread it, and then, it happens. And then you're like, yeah, I forget, the mother forgets all about the pain and just the joy of the baby in her arms, you forget all about all what you've just been through. That's, believe me, I have birthing pains every day. trying to get this thing cobbled together the way I want it. And if I'm satisfied with it, believe me, you'll be satisfied with it. Because I'm a kind of a picky guy, when it comes to comics. But we'll put it together as best as we know how. And then, let the chips fall as they may. Then once I get something out in front of you, then you can bring out the red pencil and start criticizing it. Hopefully there won't be too many markups on the thing. I'm going to send a complimentary copy to Mike Barron, which I had on yesterday, as a matter of fact, along with Texas Dave, celebrating his 75th birthday. And see what a real writer like Mike Barron thinks about my book. Hopefully he won't be too harsh on me and crush my dreams. That's all right. I don't think anybody can do that. I'll just continuing on, and but I do want to expedite things. I don't want you to have to wait a year. Now, we'll see how the finances go. It may be, I really do like that first of the year, February, March of launching in tax time. I think that's an easier burden on people. I just like that time for launching a project. So I may have to just, and developmental wise, that's probably realistic at this point, but I am thinking about, 2 books. Because there are 2 books that I really want to do. The Devil Flyer Zero is like, so you don't have to wait on Devil Flyer. Trying to keep Devil Flyer alive, in the hearts and minds of people. But the book that I want to do next that will really flesh out and act on that characterization of characters and also show you things to come, is what I propose, the Momentum Future Visions, or the Momentum Unleashed title that tells stories in the future of Momentum universe, which will be, and that, I think that's a cool way of telling a story, is introducing the characters in a future story in the future. That kind of gives me leeway, of a glimpse of them in the future too. Constructive criticism from a pro is by far the best thing you can hope for. Yeah. Yeah, I'll send it out to a few people and see what they think. You know, they are professionals and do it for a living. So, you know, maybe I'll send one to Chuck Dixon and see what he thinks. I don't know. Might as well go to the top, you know, best of the best and leave the rest. Spit out the bones. Why do I feel like I'm gambling and rolling the bones with this? Look, we've come this far. I mean, when you think about the artists that I've had work for me, I had to first meet them and then hire them and have it done, blah, 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 blah. I mean, um, you know, I mean, as this channel's grown and we've met different people, you know, Dee's done some work for me recently. I didn't know him up till a few months ago. I mean, a year ago or so. I mean, you know, and now he's doing some work for me. That's awesome. You know, Keith Gleason. I mean, just so many different talented people. John Dillard, I didn't know him from Adam or if I could even get him to work for me, you know, so, and the logos, you know, fortunately, John Falandes, you know, made some logos and gave me a seed, a start, you know, to develop from. And, you know, it's grown from that. We've come a long way. You know, you say, I want to do a book. Okay, you're going to need a logo. You're going to need this. You're going to need that. You got to get all that stuff out of the way. That takes some time. You know, so Katie says she'll be right back. She must be busy. Busy painting. Yeah, I mean, there's things that I want to do that will just take some time to develop. Rome wasn't built in a day, and Momentum Comics won't be built in a day. But I guarantee you, when we're all finished laying a good foundation with everything, and Momentum will be a force to be reckoned with, hopefully. Cross your fingers. I mean, even Marvel and DC will take note. You mark my words. Gable Penny Shot. I am using on the Devil Flyer Zero. I think I already told you this, but just to reiterate, I am using your title ideal of Devil Flyer First Flight. That will be the title of Devil Flyer Zero. I think that's a good name for that, and for different reasons than you think. People, there are things that I am writing and setting up in this that people won't see coming. And that's a good thing. You won't see coming. I already have, I can think of 3 surprises that are pretty major, you know, 4. I mean, if I thought about it, I'm all about building it up, dropping hints, and then boom, you know, dropping it eventually. I am interweaving this, you know, so you need to stick with the ride, you know, and I'm sure that people that are already on board will. This story I'm working on right now, I think will ensure that, because it will, like I said, show you what I can do, my writing abilities, and then also my design sensibility of things. And so I'm putting a good bit of me into this. I think for me, that will be most satisfactory, you know, more so really than if I just sit down and drew a whole book, you know, a whole story, which I will do, which I am working on. Some things need to happen. I need to get a sec. There's a lot needs to happen, you know, but I'm trying to think of, hey, Fizz Pop, it's good to see you. Morning to you. I'm talking about Devil Flyer because that's what on my mind and heart 24/7 in a way. it's never too far from, how can I do this better? What do I want to interject? Uh, and that comes from real life experiences, real life emotions. If you're just like we've got a new girl that hired on this year, and she's like, I don't know what happened to you, dear. I don't know how old she is. She's fairly young, maybe in her 20s, probably still in her 20s, mid to late 20s. She may be older than that. I don't know, but she's like, don't want to talk to anybody, don't want to interact with anybody. I don't want anybody to say hi to me. Not that she's not, that you can't talk to her and say something to her, and have her respond and, in a nice way. But she's just like, yeah, I don't take very much, with my personal appearance. And it's like I'm doing the bare minimum and life sucks. And she just gives off that vibe, and that's pretty sad. And then, of course, Chucklehead Rex comes along and tries to interject a little bit without pushing, some levity and, hey, it's going to be all right. And, welcome to the human race. But there are people out there like that, man. And there's some people that are not sociable at all, that are just given over to the dark force. There's Sith lords out there. There are evil people. Well, I don't say that people are evil, okay? I'd like to believe in even the worst of the worst can turn over to the light if they so want. Most people that are a screwed up mess can be fixed if they want to be fixed. And I got to believe, when they stop crying out their little inner self for help, they're looking for something and maybe they never found it. So they're kind of disillusioned that I'll never find it. Life's a trip. Sometimes you will trip over your answer. You'll come upon it. And then it's a whole new world. It's a brand new world after that. Then there's hope again. Hope lives eternal. I do believe that. I'm an optimist. I make no bones about it. I make no apologies for it. If you're a pessimist, if you're sarcastic all the time, if you're a gloom, despair, and agony on me type guy, sorry. I don't want to be that person. I don't know why anybody would want to be that person. Well, it's not that I want to be that way. It's the world made me that way. Well, some of the soundest advice I was kind of in a snarky way said to me, well, Rex, I don't know what to tell you. Get over it. Get over it. Just get over it. If you want me to play the violin for you, that's all you get out of me. I don't do the musical instruments, although I'm wanting to learn to play guitar. A little. I always said if there's one instrument that I would want to play, it would be a synthesizer. I think it would be cool to, I'll have all that in my life. I might be 90 at the keyboards, putting out hit records. Look, life's not over till they throw you in the grave and throw the dirt on me. You better do it today because time waits for no man. I'm looking for that strong imagery that I can interject that will be iconic and be memorable and hit upon those universal themes in my writing that everyone can identify with. If it's not striking a chord in the reader, the writer hasn't done their job. That's the way I look at it, And so while some are diddling around trying to make cartoons, Mark, I'm not talking about you. If you see this with your stalled track, I love cartoons. Don't get me wrong. But while people are doing lesser things, I'm a Stradivarius. I'm going for the concerto. I'm going for the knock it out of the park home run every time I swing. So, and if you're stepping up to the plate with with lesser in mind, unless the coach tells you to bunt, and then what are you going to do? You're going to bunt, you know. But I mean, if you're just I think I'm just going to punt this thing. That ain't me. That never was me. I wanted to step up to the plate and hit it out of the park. Very rarely, but boy, if I ever hit the sweet pot and connected, I could hit it further than anyone. 400 and something feet. It's like, woo! And they're like, but that was a rare thing. If a coach had taken me to the side and said, Rex, I'm going to individually train you. We're going to make you the best that you could be. I could have been one of the best, I think. But they never did that. So I wound up on the bench. They didn't have time. Maybe toot my own horn there, but I think there was potential. There was potential, untapped potential that just wasn't used. See, we've got 10 on X. So X is hopping today. We've got one person watching on Twitch, I assume. And we have one person now on YouTube. So what the hell? I don't know. I've lost my audience. According to that counter. Which I just wanted to get your day started, rightly, since I'm well rested and will probably the best thing I can do for myself is do some cleaning, do some organizing, and find some stuff. And then, I've got some scripts I need to find so that I can give them to Keith for him to letter. There's things like this, like when I talk over with Dillard on the Inner Man story, he'll need to see this, and I need to see it just to see, because that was done in 2001. That's amazing to me, but I mean, just as this thing grew, I said, okay, I've got the Devil Flyer story, but I need more than that. Needed more time, needed more audience, needed more development. Then the other stories came, and then slowly but surely it's like, hey, I can introduce my whole universe here if I do this right. All these other characters. And Bog was the very last main character that I added, actually. And yet that was one of the first stories, which is Grave Tales. And I think my personal favorite story for the book, that'll be in the book. So that's the way things come about. Yeah, I mean, some of it was limited initially because of the Devil Flyer story taking up so much real estate. So that's why Inner Man only got 2 pages. That's why basically just an introduction. Nothing wrong with that, but people be wanting more. Well, next issue, they'll get more. They'll get a big story of Inner Man. He'll be the next minor character to be, have a big part. And I do like the idea of switching, having the Inner Man, might have to do an Inner Man cover variant. Mrs. G in the house. Have you done a meatloaf recently? I have a pound of turkey in there. I could do a turkey meatloaf. It's just not the same. I actually have some bell pepper that's already diced up and frozen that I could put in it. I'm not sure if I have any meatloaf seasoning in there or not. Do you use meatloaf seasoning? How do you season your meatloaf? Inquiring minds want to know. And I know you're busy. You're at work. Thanks for chiming in. Yeah, it's things are coming together. We're making progress. We're making progress. I'll probably sit and draw someday today. If you do back Devil Flyer, as you know, or maybe you don't know, so I'm repeating it. having actually less meatloaf in summer. Okay. Yeah. You get a free original head sketch done by me, inked, maybe with a little spot coloring like this one. You'll get a free head sketch, which is 4x6, I think, on 110 multimedia paper. Excited to, change some stuff up on the campaign here pretty soon. If it takes a couple weeks to get his wraparound cover done and colored, I'm fine with that, because I'm still having her scan some things and put them on a thumb drive for me for files so that I can send out to other artists for reference. Pretty big project, I've had her scan a lot of stuff for me, and I've said, over the last year or so, or several years, actually, I've had stuff being scanned by them since 2016. I said, can you get me a thing, of files, so that I can see what you've scanned for me, because I'm continually drawing stuff, and I've got some of this stuff mixed up, and some of it you haven't scanned yet. So I need to look and see what you have scanned so I can get you to scan what has not been scanned. Hey there. It's good to see you today on Twitch. The secret to the great meatloaf is molasses and Worcestershire sauce. Ooh, yeah, there you go. I would think that would help moisten it too. Mrs. G meatloaf, 2/3 beef, 1/3 sausage. Now see, I leave the sausage out there, but yeah, I could see that. And a tad of tomato sauce in the mix. Then I've actually used Manwich sometimes. Then use home seasoning, garlic, onion, paprika, basil, thyme. Boy, you put everything in the kitchen sink in there, pepper, etc. And I follow Mom's recipe by putting mixed vegetables. Wow. Yeah, you fully load that thing. And that's the great thing about meatloaf. You can, right? Hey, brother, what are you up to here? I'm just talking about my comic book, actually, Eric. Right now, that and morning wake-up call with some coffee for everybody. Devil Flyer is over on Fund My Comic. Go check it out. Link is down in the description. If you don't, you write comic books? Yes, I write comic books. We've done one ash can. That was Devil Flyer ash can that came out last year, and we're doing Devil Flyer over on Fund My Comic. So we have somebody inquiring about it. We'll play the trailer. That'll tell you everything you need to know. Go, and if you want to take a look at the trailer for the ash can that came out, here it is. Well, that's not my artwork. That's my neighbor's artwork. I do draw. I do write. I do, ink. And, I could show you some artwork. Okay. Well, starting with a character here that I'm developing, Despair. That's a sort of a cosmic character that I'm developing right now. And my book is over on Fund My Comic. And like I was saying, you can get a 4x6 headshot of a character, much like that, on Mixed Media. And it's good to have somebody joining us from Twitch. Also, collectibles. We talk collectibles here. Comics, of late, I've been showing old pulp magazines from the golden era of the 30s and 40s, 50s. Vintage comics, of course. But we talk about a variety of things over here. Here's a page that I really need to get out and finish, and maybe I'll work on that today. Maybe. Of a character. And then I've had others work on Devil Flyer as well. Here is one of Rob Ewing's of my main character, Devil Flyer. That's a Rob Ewing piece. He's doing some work for me. But now this is some of my artwork here. Couple pages for a story that I'm working on with a character called Geo, which is sort of like a rock-like character. But we have something for everyone. I've got to fix this arm, and then I'll be done with the piece. There's a page of Geo. He's holding his hammer there. I think inking is where it comes to life. So that's some of my artwork. Here's a background I did. So here's a painting I did. Here's another Rob Ewing piece here that he did of Devil Flyer, which is the principal character, but he's not the only character in the universe, in my Momentum universe. Here's another character called Dirty Joe. Here's a page layout that I did. Just kind of exploring the different looks of this character here. But I have all types of characters that I work on. And over there on the campaign, we have on parchment paper, we have sketch cards of characters that we've done. We have bookmarks of artwork that I've done. And we've got some other stuff from other artists as well that I've commissioned to do. But everybody that backs Devil Flyer gets a head sketch, either horizontal or vertical, whatever, of could be any character. I've done a bunch of Bogs, but I don't, I always like Bog, and I've been trying to develop some of these characters more. Dirty Joe there. Think Venom. If you do K-pop, this is to you. If you do like these bookmarks, you better get them. Some of them may be coming down here pretty soon as we renew the campaign. Here's a character you'll be seeing in the Inner Man story. This is Lion's Mane, or Lion's Share, rather. Lion's Share. He's a sort of a holographic computer character. Of questions, if you might, yeah, if you've got questions, sure, ask me a question. I'll try my best to answer. Just seeing some of the different things that we have here. I need to put that there to show Dillard as well. That's my cover ideal. Don't need to abandon that cover ideal. Here's another bookmark that's on the campaign with Dirty Joe and Bog. One that's up on the campaign right now, Bog and the Moon. Sort of a side shot. Those are all done by me. Here's one that's been up there but had no takers on, a Bog. I think I had this one up there for a while. But it's going to be fun. It's going to be fun. Need to finish this piece that I only got partially done. Need to finish that. Put a lot of ink on that. This was something that you probably haven't seen. When I was learning Hebrew, I did within this box here because it was kind of contained, but I'll eventually cut this off and, frame it or whatever. But this was a painting I did with the Hebrew characters. And that's what we wound up with. Good way to practice my Hebrew characters and learn the Hebrew characters and then also paint at the same time. Growing up, your favorite comic books? Avengers got me collecting. I like Marvel and DC. I really like George Perez. I followed him over to DC when he started doing New Teen Titans. X-Men. I mean, you name it, all the major titles, different things. Avengers was my favorite, though. I mean, and I think it had to do with George Perez, his very first run on that. Fantastic Four. Primarily a Marvel guy, but there was, I did Justice League and Green Lantern, but I've hit just about all the major I've hit all the major things. Here's a couple of characters you'll be seeing in the future: Hopper and Zeitgeist. Did that one not too long ago. Is Devil Flyer Red and Goat? He's kind of red and burgundy. Well, I mean, he has different looks for different times. His scheme was gray and blue originally, and that's kind of his golden age look. Kind of like that. May work some gold in there. So right now I have scheduled at least 3 stories for my next 2 books. The Devil Flyer Zero will pick up where Devil Flyer leaves off, and that'll probably launch in February. I'll have to have some time to develop that. I think we're ahead of schedule on that, which is very nice. That we're ahead of schedule on some of this stuff. As far as the next book's concerned, but that doesn't help with this book, right? Actually, it kind of does help get me in that headspace of where we're going with all this, kind of have to keep all that right here all the time, where you're headed. Our next stretch goal will be a Devil Flyer flyer. Don't know how I'm going to make that yet, and I don't even know if I have to make that. We'll have to make the stretch goal. but either foam or balsa wood, something like that, with Devil Flyer on the side of it, and actually have a glider or flyer that you can put together and assemble and use, which is pretty cool to play with if you want. That'll be our next stretch goal on the campaign. It's over at fundmycomic.com. Yeah, man, I've done a bunch of these head sketches. When you see just the stack of just like geos and stuff that I've done, look at this stack here that I've got of these head sketches that everybody will be getting, and I got on this early, maybe even before I announced it, but everybody that backs it gets a free head sketch done by me of a head sketch of a different character. Like I say, some may be just, most of them probably be in black and white, but with this mixed paper, I can absolutely do, and I've done a few in color, but the color ones probably won't go out. I mean, they might, if it's the best of the best, I'll leave it out to people, but head sketches, I think they're fun, keeps me busy. I always like to take the same character and do different looks. I like to play around with the looks of my characters. Some of them, but I've been a busy little beaver, I'll be busy doing some more head sketches probably earlier today. Not just Geo here, but this is how we grow. We practice. Some of these are more complex than others. Some are pretty simple. Hopefully my camera is doing them justice. I've probably done more Bog and Geo than I have any other characters, but that's fine. I've got other characters in the mix, and like I say, I'll take the stack and I don't know where you got the gold, Mrs. Good Stuff, where the gold comes in. Some of Dirty Joe here. Yeah, I could go on and on and on, man. Some of these weren't even the best ones, but it's all looking good. It's all looking good. We'll get there. Let me bring up the campaign real quick and see where we're at. It is over on fundmycomic.com. What do you mean this site can't be reached? What the hell? Should already. Wait, it's saying it can't be reached. What the hell? I've got the link. I've only seen Devil Flyer in color on Dillard's cover, and I couldn't remember. Oh, okay. Yeah, gold's a cool color. Why is it not taking me over to Fund My Comic? Maybe I can do a search and bring it up. Site can't be reached. I don't know. This sucks. Well, let me see if I can go through something else that's over on Fund My Comic. Another project. Who's over there? Got a lot of Indiegogo people. Who's over on Fund My Comic with me? You can find me over on Instagram. You can find me over on Twitter, all under Devil Flyer. Make sure it's the correct Devil Flyer. See how much I post. I post every day over there on X on Twitter. Fund My Comic, there we go, .com campaign. Don't know what this site can't be reached. Wow, has Fund My Comic went down for the day? Smokes the Fox. Maybe my computer crashed and burned and nobody told me. I don't want that. Let's see. Can I go on Indiegogo? I can go on Indiegogo. No problem there. Interesting. I'm being gatekept from my own campaign. Hatch. Wow, it won't let me go to Hatch on Indiegogo. It just, that site can't be found right now. So that sucks. Somebody else try and go on fundmycomic.com and see if they can get it to come up, because I can't get it to come up on my computer, even though I have the links. I was thinking Devil Flyer would make a cool action figure and wonder what the colors would be. I just tried Fund My Comic. It's down. Ooh, okay. Maybe they took it down to do some stuff on it. I don't know. That's wild. Isn't that wild? That's wild. So if somebody wanted to back my book, they can't back it. Just send me money directly. Yeah, everybody thinks it would be a good action figure, but action figures are expensive to make, you know. But we'll get there. We'll get there. I guarantee you there will be some action figures. If I live long enough, and I'm not talking a long, long time, but if I, as time progresses, we'll get there. And one big part of it, like I said, in a couple weeks, hopefully we'll have something to show you, a start anyway of the over on Shopify. I will have t-shirts, like if you like the John Dillard cover, I'm going to offer that on a t-shirt. You can wear it around. I'll wear some on the show. Really excited about the t-shirts. Excited about the jigsaw puzzles so that I can put something tangible in my mother's hand and she can go make the Devil Flyer puzzle and show it to all her friends and say, my son made this, manufactured this. I think that'd be so cool. She can brag about my son makes jigsaw puzzles for a living, among other things. Looks like website crashed. Hope Luke is on it, team. Yeah, I don't know. I've never experienced that. Wow. Just bad timing on my part. Too bad I didn't have it pulled up where I could already show you. Usually I do, but I've been trying to keep things cleared off my computer so it wouldn't crash my computer. Well, I'm going to get to it. And if you're not awake by now, I'm sorry for you, but it is early. I'm not a morning person. That's for sure. But I'm here for you. I am here for you. And so we're going to be getting stuff done here pretty quickly. Wondering if I'm going to go to the printers today. I don't think I have to. I went the other day and she's working on stuff. But I am excited to see about that test page for the Grave Tales backgrounds to see how that turned out. I don't know if she's got it done or not. I keep her busy scanning stuff. And I'll have some more stuff come in here pretty soon that I'll have to take her to scan for her. If I receive some of that today, I may go by there and ask for an update on that Grave Tales page. Things are getting done on the book. Have no doubt about that. Thanks again for night's morning distraction. Is that all I am to you, Mrs. G? A distraction? It's my pleasure. It's my pleasure to distract you from your work or your workplace, which may be a living hell, one of Dante's rings and all that. Yeah, there's characters like the Blazer and others that I want to develop further. It'll all come in time. My problem will be selecting the top ones that I'll get to first to cram them all. Cram as many first cameo appearances in there and make it still flow and look good and whatnot. It's going to be awesome. Can't wait. Sorry, I mean the morning quality entertainment and education. Right. Well, we do want to entertain and we do want to educate everyone, where possible. Look for me to do a something on Pez. Here's some rare Pez that I just happen to have here, which are like rare red insert stems from like the year 2000 from Pez. These would have been put around the body. This was actually a rocket. These were insert for rocket pins that were never inserted, but rare red stems set with all the head colors. There was I made many a fantasy Pez with those things. But yeah, I'll do a Pez-tacular. I'll do a thing on nothing but Pez. I don't know that there's many people that care about Pez in our little community, but I know Pez are a big thing. I've been a collector of Pez since after my fire in 97 and really started collecting Pez. Don't collect so much nowadays, but then they're not as plentiful as around here as they used to be. But yeah, I will see you again at the 4:00 set on the 4:00 shadow episode 804 today. 804 episodes. Wow. We just celebrated our 800th episode. 804 math numbers. Anyway, 4:00 Central. 4:00 Central every day here on YouTube, on X, on Twitter. Check us out. Yesterday we had on Mike Barron and Texas Dave Houston celebrating his 75th or 70th birthday, and Mike Barron's belated 75th birthday. Mike Barron, if you don't know, is a big time professional comic book writer. Has probably written more books out there than anybody except for Chuck Dixon. He admits that. We show all types of things on here: Hot Wheels, Matchbox, collectibles, you name it. I've had my toe dipped in the lake, in the river for a very long time. One thing, you mentioned action figures, Mrs. Good Stuff. I want to do something like this, which is like cheaper made, okay, just plastic sort of gumball type things, but my character's done like this, that came out of gumball machines, where everything was contained in a round ball, the head, and then you take the body out, snap it together around the neck piece, and then you have a little figure. That's probably doable right now. I'll have to look into it, but very cool. Sort of like a cheap Funko Pop type thing, bobblehead looking thing. And for the next campaign, I would like to get an official Devil Flyer Pez made. I'll have to talk to Pez and see what minimum run, probably about 2,000 of them. I don't know. I'll have to see what a minimum run is, but would that not be cool? An official Pez, and it would be an officially made Pez by Pez. They go back all the way to 1927 as a company. Isn't that wild? But to have a Devil Flyer Pez, and then we'll see how that goes. And then maybe do other characters. I would love to do my characters in Pez. That would be awesome. That would be cool. Different from what everyone else has. Right. Exactly. I'm into different. I'm not into emulating what other people are doing. If I do it, it's because I want to do it. And if they've done it, fine. But I'm always into like the Devil Flyer and things like that. Things that there's too much out there. They can be explored and done. Maybe little plastic figures. That's doable. And if we can do action figures, we'll do action figures. We just have to kind of work up to that. First campaign here, first full campaign, big campaign. Man, I wanted to see where we were sitting. We went over 3,500 with the campaign. I do know that. And I'm not sure the Indiegogo. Let's see if I want to do. All right, let me go see where at least where the ash can is over on Indiegogo, and I'm only printed up 100 of those. Wow. Getting ready to hit over 1,400 over there. Got a donation recently for the ash can. So $1,384 on that. There was I'm starting to run low on them. Only 100 of them were printed up with that. And I had one right here with all the magnets and all the trading cards and everything. But you get 2 magnets, 2 trading cards, 3 bookmarks with that. And the ash can looks like this, because here's the ash can. I just the one I had in here that had all the tchotchkes with it. I'm going to mail off today to Sci-Fi Nation. So ash can 7, the first in black and white, the first 7 story pages to the Devil Flyer story, and then you have pin-up section of the different characters in the back. Hope you enjoyed it. Tweeka approved. I'm going to get back to making comics and having fun with my day. I hope you do the same. Keep collecting, and we'll see you again on the 4 o'clock shadow at 4 o'clock Central right here. If you haven't clicked the like button, do so and subscribe.